Okay, so today we're going deep on something pretty interesting. Um, how to really thrive as someone who enjoys, their own company.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of flipping the script on what it means to be a loner,
Hey,
right?
totally. And, ditching all those negative stereotypes.
For sure. The goal here is like practical insights and all that
Yeah, actionable
to
stuff.
help anyone listening find fulfillment in solitude.
Yeah, and that's no matter like your background or how you currently feel about being alone.
Exactly.
Cool. So one thing that really jumped out from the material you shared
Right.
is that being a loner in this sense
Uh-huh.
doesn't mean total isolation.
Not at all.
It's more about focusing on the quality of your connections.
Yeah, I think that's key. Like you can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone.
Right. It's not about quantity. It's about having those few deep, authentic relationships.
Exactly.
And with people who get you.
Yeah, and especially people who respect your need for space.
That's so important
Yep.
because if the people you're closest to understand that need, it can actually help prevent those feelings of loneliness even when you are spending a lot of time by yourself.
It's like having that solid foundation.
Yeah, that safety net.
Exactly.
Okay, so another big thing the material talks about is how to create a nourishing life when you value solitude.
Right. So it's not just about like enduring being alone.
Yeah,
It's about making it enriching and fulfilling.
making it awesome.
Yeah, totally. And so the question becomes like, how do you do that? How do you consciously create an environment and routines that support you in that?
So it's about being intentional about your space and your habits.
100%.
Okay, so what are some tangible steps people can take?
Well, the material emphasizes this idea of designing your living space in a way that brings you joy.
So surrounding yourself with things you love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Art books,
Yeah.
plants, whatever truly resonates with you.
It's about curating your own haven.
Yeah, a space that feels good to be in, to just be in.
I love that. And it's not just about the physical environment either,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's about your daily activities too, filling your time with things that feel meaningful to you.
So that could be anything from creative pursuits to like just quiet time for reflection.
Exactly, anything that nourishes you.
Okay, so this next part is where things get really interesting.
All right, I'm intrigued.
The material encourages us to completely reframe how we view solitude.
I like where this is going.
Instead of seeing it as a negative, I'm alone,
Uh-huh.
we should see it as a choice, a source of empowerment.
Like I am free to choose how I spend my time.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective is so powerful
It really is.
because suddenly you're in control.
You're not a victim of circumstance, you're actively choosing.
And that sense of agency, that's huge.
It's everything when it comes to enjoying solitude.
Okay, and then to protect that precious alone time,
Yeah.
we need to talk about boundaries.
Oh, definitely.
To really benefit from solitude, you have to be able to carve out that space.
Without feeling guilty.
Right, or obligated to everyone else.
It's about prioritizing your own needs.
So the action here is clear communication.
Right. Being upfront about your availability.
And honoring those boundaries you set.
Consistently.
Yes, and doing it without apology.
Because it's not selfish. It's self-respect.
So the material emphasizes that we're not alone in choosing this path.
And that celebrating your journey is important.
Right, recognizing your unique strengths.
Exactly. And the insights you gain from valuing your own space.
Because even though we're talking about solitude,
It doesn't have to mean being completely isolated.
yeah, like there are communities out there where people share these values.
Absolutely. Places where people understand the importance of self-discovery and personal space.
So you can find connection on your own terms.
Right.
So to wrap up,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway here? What should people really remember?
I think the core message is that solitude can be incredibly empowering and fulfilling,
Yeah.
but you have to approach it with intention.
It's about being deliberate about your environment, your mindset, your boundaries.
Right. It's about making choices that support you in thriving in solitude.
Yeah. And ultimately recognizing that it's a valid and powerful way to live.
Absolutely.
So for everyone listening, think about one small thing you can do today to shape your experience of solitude.
What can you do to make it even more enriching?
What will you choose?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Thanks for joining me.
Always a pleasure.
See you next time.
Bye.